Hello everybody, welcome to Pearls of Wisdom. In this little video I will share with you how I make those crystal antennas. Many of you know that I have started, I think it was in February, to work with Electro-Culture, and a lot has developed in this time, and it is really absolutely fantastic, the experience that I had. It is really very powerful how this works, and I want to share a little bit more with you about that. Okay, so here we go. You can see the picture now. This is a picture of finished crystal antennas, and I would like to give you a little bit background how that whole thing started. So I really started very simple. You see, this is a little chopstick, and I put it in one of my mint plants that were both about little the same. And already after, 4 days, I could see a very, very big difference, that this plant here was just shooting and growing very, very fast. So here is the first picture again here, and this is 10 days later. I had then put see the little chopsticks. I just used different ones. Here is here and is here inside, and they just absolutely grew like crazy. It was really fun. And then when I had my flowers, I had last year in October, November, I replanted. We made these new things here for flowers because of the flower essence workshop that we had. We did make our own flower essences, like, you know, Bach flower remedies. We have our own Asian flower remedies by now. And they were blooming beautifully, but you know, then usually about in February, this is when they go down and they're not so beautiful anymore. And this was also one of the first tries I started to put the antennas inside of those here, and the other ones, they didn't have any. And you can see the big difference between those who had antennas and those who didn't. Here I have already put the little chopstick inside, and the very interesting thing is that they had seed and they regrew, but not with so many flowers. They are more like the wild flowers. These are zinnia. This is a kind of sunflower. This is what they call periwinkle, and these are gosh, I cannot remember the names of the flowers. I just love the flowers, but with the name is a bit difficult sometimes. Nelka, I don't remember what it's in English. And here I had some cannabis, and these are just cuttings. You know, I just cut it from the plants and put it in. You know, when I put that, usually that is like after 1-2 days, they all limp very much. They never did limp. They just actually made beautiful roots, and they grew very, very nice. So, and another thing is I have mulberries. And the mulberries this year, they looked like this. They were very not so nice. It was very, very dry. And so I put the stick, see here, you see the stick. I put the little black electro tape around it because the wire I use is quite thin. So it fixates it. It holds it, and then I let just straight like an antenna up. You can also whirl it and do all kind of things with them. It's perfect. And already after a very short time, you see here actually I can enlarge that. You see the buds. Here is nothing. And then here the buds are coming up, and already a few days later I had no, how was it? It was actually there already in the center. They had a few berries, but later, I tell you, I have the harvest. This was absolutely fantastic. Now we come to the antenna. You saw the picture first. So what I do is I have here very simple muffin silicone mold. So I put some copper. This is powder that I had bought some time ago. And then I just make this with with the copper wire in put it together for 6 because I put 6 crystal and the one in the center. And then I add the crystals around it first, the 6 crystals here around it, and just pull those out, that when I put the epoxy afterwards, you can see here is ready with epoxy here, I put inside. This is also the resin, or here they call it hot glue. And then I put the double ender crystal I put inside, and I put some of this epoxy and leave it for 24 hours at least. This is one that I made that has no wires yet, that I added them and then turned around later. I had several tries that I did, and you see here that I have those. The first lot I made, I did wire later, but I have experienced that it's better to wire first, the energy stronger, which I usually test out with the rod. And you can see here also is a lot of copper powder inside. So this will give you this piezoelectric effect. And when you test them out, they are very strong. So this is how it looks afterwards when you take it out. I call them my crystal muffins. And then I wire them, these ones, see? This you can see inside the wire. This is the first picture that I showed you. And then it goes down, and I put it all together so that I later can put it inside the bamboo stick. Because the first one I made without epoxy, we had quite a storm, and the crystal fell. The crystal did not make it to stay straight. So when you can fix it with something like this, like epoxy or another good glue, it's much better because it's more solid. So you see here at the bottom, I have the wires and I put them together. So that is looking here. I have the 6 inside, and then in addition, I take another double wire that I put around the crystal to make it more powerful. So you see these antennas look a little bit like that. I had different strength of wire. We tested it out, and it actually does not make a big difference between the more thick and the more thin wire. They are just very minimal differences. And then what I had a friend helping me here. I made with this is a copper sheet that he cut and made me a hole here below. So I can put in these, see, that's the way I have these crystal antennas, and I put that part. Now you understand why I twist them together at the bottom. Then I can easily put them inside here. It is very important, if you do that, that you sand at the bottom a little bit to take off the epoxy, that it is in contact with the wire. And then when it's inside, I use it, you know, this children dough where children play with. And I put that very solid, that I can put the epoxy here inside, that it holds. And this is what I do then. I put them in old bottles. And I have the epoxy I pour inside here. I lift it first a little bit. And then I put the epoxy, make a double check, lift it up, double check that the little children dough is holding, and then I fill it up here so that everything is really holding stable. So see, this is more or less how it looks afterwards. This is stable inside here, and I have the wire on the back side. You can see it here. And I can still, this is the first one I made actually, and I still wrapped it afterwards around on the bottom, on the top here, the crystal, and pull it down. Always it has to touch the copper so that the piezoelectro effect is working. And then I had the 3 meter bamboo stick. I have a ladder going up to the attic, and I just put some nails and fix it there so that I can work from above. So if you have a second floor, or you have to put them somewhere, when you make with 3 meters, but you can also make it smaller. And I wrap around something that in case when the epoxy goes down a little bit, that it doesn't matter, because you know that the hollow part of the bamboo here is like the upper part that starts here. I fill with epoxy, and I have one wire that I wrap around the bottom that comes out, that I afterwards connect to the one that I connect to the soil, the grounding. Unfortunately, this picture is not very clear, but you can see better here. The bamboo, no, the bamboo is hollow here. So I put first the epoxy inside here, and then I put this one with the wire that comes out on the one side. And then it looks like this. So I have wired, you see here the copper here, and then you see here that it goes all the way down to the bottom, that is connected from here like an antenna, really literally like an antenna, that you can see here again, come down all the way down to the bottom. Then I put it in the soil. You see here on top is the antenna. Here I have on this piece of land where I live now, and I have an orchard in the back with lots of little trees. I have 4 put up already, 2 more to go. And so this is really how it looks. You see here, the crystals are coming out of the epoxy. They are white, they are wrapped also with copper. And then this is the big one that comes down, and it's all connected. You see here the spiral all the way down into the soil. So these are the last 2 that I made, and I have 2 more to do. So it will be a really powerful energy, and this will help you to energize and harmonize and balance, and also bring peace to the area that you can use where you live. I think it is very important that we do things like that in a moment. You don't have to do 3 meters, but if you can, you know, the higher up it is, the stronger it is. And I had one pictures, let me go back here, a couple that I really see. That one here, when I was looking at the picture, it looked like it has a ray of light coming down here, and this wasn't the sun up here. It was very interesting when I afterwards looked at the picture when I came back. So I think this is a very powerful thing to do, and I think it's very important that all of us, whoever, even if you have a very small garden, you can even put it somewhere on a balcony and make maybe a meter 50 high, to bring in energy and peace, and bring in the balance. Especially remember, crystals are amplifiers, so we have to put an intention. What you can do is also, if you do something like this, you can hold it and put intention in it to bring peace, to harmonize the area. What you can also do is just very simple. Just look at it. You don't need to hold it, but just look at it. It is the intention of my crystal antenna to anchor peace, to anchor beauty, to anchor harmony, to bring in freedom for everybody. So you can even reinforce that on a regular basis. And I think this is another way how we can contribute now to make peace. And I think it's really important that everybody stands up, every soul that awaken now, to do something. And this is just to take a stand, to make a very clear commitment. I am standing for light, I'm standing for peace, and I want to help the world to achieve that. So I hope I can see many, many crystal antennas rising. I would be very happy if you send me some images. You can send that by email or by telegram. The information is down below in the description. Give me a thumbs up if you like it, and please share the information with all your friends. Thank you very much. I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.